tourists, when they come here, they begin to realize how unique it is. The moment they're actually just flying over Singapore and they look at this island, which is supposed to be a city, or you realize the amount of greenery that you have, completely overwhelms them. My name is Veera. I run Greenology. I'm also a professor in the National University of Singapore. Environmental sustainability, people talk about it many different ways, but I think Singapore is trying to aspire to be a lot more than just sustainable. I think green resilience, nature resilience equates to a larger, broader perspective of sustainability. We're trying to be resilient, we're trying to be regenerative in what we're trying to achieve for our city and what we have.
Gardens by the Bay is an international icon that represents Singapore's city in nature vision. At the same time, it is also embraced by Singaporeans as a people's garden to be a place where people come as a community to enjoy nature. My favourite part of Gardens by the Bay is Kingfisher Wetlands, but I really enjoy going there to do bird watching because you never know what you will see. Sometimes you can see native species, sometimes you see the migratory species. It's also a place where it's quite rustic and different from the rest of the zones in the gardens in the sense that we planted quite a lot of native species and some of them are critically endangered, including mangroves. Gardens by the Bay is a unique attraction in that it was built on principles of sustainability. So on site we have a biomass plant where horticultural waste from all over Singapore is collected and they are burned on site to generate electricity, and this is used to support the cooling of the conservatories. The glass of the domes is also spectrally selective. It's double glazed and is coated with a low emissivity coating. So this helps to maximize sunlight while reducing heat penetrating into the domes.
The park connector that we have built started about 20 years ago. I call them the green veins of Singapore. It's part of the main green infrastructure and taking out tributaries and small veins going into different parts of Singapore. It's grown to be one of the most impressive green connectors in the world in a city like Singapore. On a very, very tired day when I'm stressed out, I need to take a break, and that's my respite, right? I walk the park connector and occasionally I cycle as well. The greenery that you come across on either sides of the park connector on the coast or within the city spaces are all flanked by greenery as well. And sometimes you see the HDB flats on the other sides. What's interesting for me is the amount of biodiversity that is beginning to come into Singapore. I think the park connectors are just not a park connector. They are literally the lifelines of many people who actually then enjoy Singapore and what Singapore is all about.
When Singapore is described as a city in nature, I feel very proud. I think it's a testament that we have balanced development with greenery while conserving what we have. I think it shows that cities can demonstrate sustainable urban development with proper infrastructure and planning. I will also encourage our tourists to enjoy the nature we have, the urban green spaces that we have, or even join our nature and sustainability tour.
Passion is a very powerful word, honestly, right? And I think that's literally the energy that gives you to carry on doing what you're doing. I realized this passion at a very young age. Greening Singapore and greening the world was something that I was destined to do. For me, that was part of my life journey. There are many people who come here because they find the greenery that we have is such an important part of what Singapore is all about. And they're beginning to appreciate it more and more.